Hey, what's going on, party people? You know when you know it's time, baby. It's that time again. So this is Lace here, back at it with another one. It's that time again. So let's get together. Let's break some bread. Now, if this is your first time here, what we do here, we talk about spirituality. You see what I'm saying? So we know which is technically your life and how we operate, and pretty much, our survival kit, what made us. That's pretty much what spirituality is all about. So, the past couple weeks, or maybe last week, I had decided to talk about the Kabbalion, and I talked about the first law, which was the law of mentalism. And tonight we're going to be talking about the law of correspondence. As it is above, so it is below. Oh my God. But the very first thing that I wanted to say, guys, you know what I'm saying? Oh, by the way, if this is not your first time, you coming back, repeated offender, you more than welcome here. You already know. Okay, so first timers, you in for a treat. You're gonna love it. You hear me? But anyway, so the Kabbalion is actually public domain. There's a book right now on YouTube, and so it's an audio books. You guys could definitely check it out for yourself. But most importantly, well, that's the reason why I didn't want to talk about it. But I also wanted to talk about it too because I get to add my own spin to it. So therefore, to each his own. But most importantly, for me, I'm sharing how helpful it is to me. But most importantly, hopefully, it could be as helpful to you as well. See, the very first thing they in the Kabbalion they said, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Damn, like this here, you gotta take it slow. There's a lot to unpack in that one. This one is fully loaded. That sentence right there is fully, extremely loaded. Because what this is telling you, there are so many different things that is being said in here. And ironically, this is also linked to what I'm about to talk about, which is the law of correspondence. As it is above, so it is below. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. There's so much that is being said here. First of all, this is telling you about, the law of attraction, if you want to, call it that. Because what this is telling you too is that, oh, so much. It's like it's talking about accountability in so many words. I mean, not that you have to take accountability, but if you truly understand it, because now it's all about you. You are creating your reality. That's where the accountability comes in. Because a lot of us sometimes, and I know I've been there. Like, nah, I didn't create that shit. But slowly and surely, as I started to grow spiritually and I started to realize, yeah, it is true. I mean, it is true. You know what I'm saying? I got receipts to back it up. So I had not just to convince myself, but I had to see it for myself. Do you see what I'm saying? Because you attract who you are. Perfect example. Like if you're in a bad relationship, there's something about you. Do you see what I'm saying? That's where the accountability comes in, but most importantly, that's where the law of correspondence comes in. As it is above, so it is below. As it is within, so it is without. So this is why that type of information is the type of information that will transform your life. Now, that's the shit I want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? We're not doing intellectual masturbation here, showing off how much you know, or, giving quotations and seeing, all bullshit. We're talking about information that's changing you. If it ain't, if it's not transforming you, you're wasting your time. So therefore, you have no power. There's no power in it for you. Do you understand what I'm saying? And that's the reason why, too, a lot of our ancestors they use mythology, and those mythologies, pretty much they were using people. Every idea was described as a person because they understood, and that's another reason why I don't disembody or dissociate spirituality from your reality. If you do, you fucked. Then you're talking about abstraction. But anyway, let's get back to the law of attraction. I mean, correspondence, because that in that little sentence itself, and I felt like there's a lot to be unpacked here. That shit is fully loaded, baby. And that's what's been happening to me too lately. Like, that's why now when I'm reading a book, it takes me fucking months now because I'm packing all that shit. I'm like, I can't. There's a lot that's being said here. So a lot of the times when people, so this is also to tell you, you are naturally attracting every day because that's how you create your reality. But it's based on the person that you are. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Do you see what I'm saying? Like if you come across this, there's a reason why you came across it. I mean, whether you know it or not, or you acknowledge it or not, this is God's work, man. Saying the great architect, everything it's, what I'm saying. Well, I mean, there's other laws that talks about that too. What I'm saying. There's no coincidence. Which one of the law of the Kabbalion that talks about that? Anyway, I'll get to it when I get to it. But the law of correspondence here is telling you is pretty much what you see in the outside. That's how it is inside, and that's why if you want to change your world or your environment, you have to change inside first. I'm saying what's that? That's the way around it. Oh, shit, long day, man. And by the way, Happy New Year, people. I've been celebrating the New Year like crazy, man. Um, Why do I call it a new year? Because, this is spring. That's where life starts. Do you see what I'm saying? The winter, what people are calling the new year, it's death. There's nothing new. Nothing has sprung from it. You know what I'm saying? In fact, it's the end of a cycle. It's another. Well, I shouldn't say. Well, that is now the beginning. Is also the end of that cycle. So the new year is also the end of last year. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's when the new year start because now it's spring. What was hidden in the snow is gonna come out in the thaw, baby. Now, if you understand being a great farmer, that's when you have to project all your ideas because now they're gonna come in fruition. This is the time. Well, you should have done that a little bit before, but all I'm saying is it is still the right season though. But you're working. But anyway, um, the law of correspondence, man. See, we're talking about. That's why I feel like the Kabbalion should be everybody's Bible. So the first law talk about the law of mentalism, stating that everything is you, like in your mind. Nothing was taking place without first being in the mind. Do you understand what I'm saying? And that's where the whole idea of creation comes in. The whole Adam and Eve shit. Well, depending on how you look at it, I mean, but there's different levels of interpretation of it. Do you see what I'm saying? God, seeing that he was alone, had decided to take something out of his rib to create a female, right? All right, they put it as men, but that can also be seen as the spirit needed to have a body too, because all of that's when it all comes hand in hand. But anyway, that would be a whole different story though. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. So, the law of correspondence. Because now, once you know that, it forces you to go inside. It forces you to take accountability for what's happening into your life. So if your life is not the way you want it, it's because of you. Not a circumstances, not a where you were born, and all of that is also you too. But guess what? People move out of places. You know what I'm saying? Poor people become rich people. These shit do happen. And a lot. You know what I'm saying? Every time you hear a story about those motivational speakers, technically what they're telling you not to give up, keep going and all that, they're telling you to wake up, to change your mentality. That's pretty much what they're telling you. But they're not being surgical with it in the sense of they're not really dissecting how you need to get there. See, that's why for me, I had to start with the the false self, the ego, so people understand what's happening to you. Do you see what I'm saying? Oh, we got very surgical in that. We gave you the foundation so for you to understand. Because a lot of us tend to look at us as just regular, ordinary people. We are not. We are very complex. Do you see what I'm saying? Circumstances influences us, life influences us. If everything you come in contact with has an influence on your life. So you have to understand how you're responding to it. Most importantly, what the influence that has on you and how you are, responding to it. Oh yeah, man. It's all mental. It's all mental. But anyway, that's not what we were talking about here, but it's all connected because technically, the one thing I got to understand about the seven Hermetic principles, pretty much, when, everything else is a derivative of the first law. Because if it's all mental, so then it kind of, everything else comes from there. The law of correspondence comes from there. The student is ready, mentally ready. And guess what happens? Now there's an attraction. Do you see what I'm saying? There's no coincidence, man. That's why we have to take accountability. See, that's what I realized. Like a lot of people, are not pretty much growing or are not expanding their consciousness because they're not taking accountability. There's no way around it, man. If you don't know you fat, you're not gonna lose weight. That's just the way it goes. When I say no, and not just looking at yourself, you know, so what? Not truly knowing. Like you're looking at yourself like, God damn, yeah, that's overweight. Yeah, that kind of shit. Taking that type of accountability. Only then can you transform yourself. Then now you'll take the drastic step for you to do the things that you got to do. That's why it's not about competition. If you're competing, you fucked. It's all about being a better version of you because that's what you're going to attract. When the student is ready, that's correspondence right there. Correspondence in the sense of understanding or the reflection of what's taking place on the outside. I mean, again, there's many aspects of it, but as you understand that reflection, now, if you're going to be smart, the only way for you to make it better, you have to come inside. That's why you have to align yourself with your true self. It's all connected. See, this is the type of knowledge that's gonna open up your mind. That's gonna make you look good out here. There's a bunch of fucked up shit out here, man. Whoa, unbelievable. Anyway, but that's pretty much what it comes down to. Was there something else I wanted to add to it? I mean, I think that's the quickest way. Again, guys, this is public domain, man. There's PDF on Google. There's YouTube. That was a reason why I didn't want to talk, and so many other people talk about it too. So, but anyway, I just wanted to give you or make it. How can I say this? Anyway, what I'm saying is this. Law of correspondence, as it is above, so it is below, as it is within, so it is without. So now understanding that law, without repeating myself over and over again, it's life transformation. It opened up your mind. That's why I'm telling motherfuckers, like, you gotta eat from the tree of life. That's the type of knowledge that's relevant. You know what I'm saying? It ain't pie times. I mean, even though that type of knowledge means something else too, but it all comes down to this. Every knowledge has to be, you gotta relate it to you. If it's not relatable to you, you're wasting your time. Same thing with a tantric, what the fuck do you call that? Tantric Buddhism. Is it? Nah, I don't know. But anyway, I mean, I do know, I don't remember. But technically, when the women Okay, I shouldn't go there. But all I'm trying to say is, like, if we get back to our ancestors, right? So when we talk about the Africans, like the mythologies and all that shit, what I'm saying? There's a lot of, they're always reflected. Or even, okay, this is what I was gonna say. This is what I was gonna talk about, but then I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember when I used to look at the tantric, trying to understand what was the whole philosophy behind it. And I also did talk about it too, because what they were doing when the women used to worship dicks and all that shit, it wasn't the dick that they were worshiping, but what they were doing is understanding the divine masculine. What would be the best way to represent it by using the actual genital. That's what they did. There wasn't no fucking orgy that was going on, no freaky deaky shit, and then like they were walking around fucking everybody. You know what I'm saying? But the part that I was gonna talk about though, there was a part where they would show you a lot of orgies that's taking place. But the orgies is a representation of how the female and the masculine energies everywhere. They intertwine everywhere, so everybody's fucking. There's a whole bunch of fucking going on. Like it's everywhere around you. That's what this shit is doing. But the part that I wanted to talk about is they had to embody it, put it in a human form, so we can relate to it. And that's why I was also talking about, what was I talking about? Like when I was talking about shit like this, that's that representation is. You have to embody that spirit, because now, when it's dormant, for instance, this represents something, right? So when I don't see this, it doesn't say anything to me. It's dormant. But when I have it in this form, meaning now I give life to it. So when I see it every day, that's why they tell you to look at your plan, have a vision board, because you're reflecting on it every time you see it. Now you're making it alive. You got to understand what you're doing. That's why you got to have your fucking vision board, just like you got to have this shit all fucking around you, because you are reminding yourself of it. But most importantly, you're making that energy, now it becomes live. You're breathing life into it. Otherwise, if you don't see it, you don't even think about it. That's how we operate. What you don't see is not gonna hurt you. Just like what you don't know ain't gonna hurt you. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the flip side of that too, what you do know can either fuck you up or make you better. Make your motherfucking self better. Have your vision board. But what I'm also saying in relatively to all of that is the fact that we had to personify those ideas, make it relatable to us, because that's how you empower yourself. That's why the whole church shit doesn't work. And it's not going to work and has not been working. It's just a social club where motherfuckers go in there and talk about other people. But the true transformation, you wouldn't give a fuck. But you need to have the knowledge that would, you got to be able to relate to that type of knowledge. So it's kind of like, that's why when you go to European school, it makes you stupid, because all of that knowledge is not relatable to you. Yes, you're learning about math, you're learning about all of that, but how does that relate to your life? Not to say that all of it doesn't relate to your life. All I'm saying is the purpose. It's like the true education should be about you getting to know who you are. Then you go to school, understanding how you operate. Then now you know what I'm saying, everything else, that's, what I'm saying, because that's the whole purpose. That's why someone, what you call that's why a PhD type of education is just the regular education for us African motherfuckers or niggas. Because at the PhD level, what you're really doing now at this point, you're learning how to really analyze. I was watching this bitch. She had to become a PhD for her to say just some regular shit. I'm like watching that the whole shit. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't know what the fuck was she talking about. I don't know. There was there's some shit that yeah. So she was talking about how she's a PhD, great advocate for school, and then she was asked about some question about what do the black community wants, and then I mean it's needed, and then she started talking about we need, how did she say it? I can't remember the quote, but how she said it. But essentially, what she was saying is we need plumbers, we need, technical shit. Because those technical shit, that's how you can open up your fucking business. That's how you grow. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, those technical shit. So this motherfucker had to become a PhD just for regular knowledge. That shit is crazy. Meanwhile, people are fighting to have their masters and all that shit. I'm not be Yeah, hey, well, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I have my master's too, but that's just bullshit, man. But the true transformation, again, to get back to what I was saying, the knowledge, you got to be able to put it into your life. You got to be able to apply it into your life. And that's why spirituality is very important. You see what I'm saying? It's very, very important. It's about that time, man. So I don't think I have anything else. It's insane. It's insane. The whole religion shit. But anyway, we're gonna leave it there. You know what I'm saying? Eat your meal. You know what I'm saying? As you already know, it's always love on this side. That's how we choose to live our life. Stay true to yourself. You'll never be forced to nobody else. You know better, you do better. Don't cheat yourself, but treat yourself, baby. You hear me? Haïtien. Alors.